finding it yet, so. There we go.
Buddy, don't start.
It keeps disappearing.
Crap, I ain't even turned the phone on yet.
There we go.
We're so professional, so.
Hey, y'all. Well, no, there's a lag time in between the time you hit the button and the time it comes up on my phone. No, but oh, hey Jerry, can you hear me now? How's the sound? Is it doing okay? Paul Roop says hear you, so that's what we want to make sure we had everything plugged in this time. How y'all doing? Beautiful out here today. I mean, it really, really is. I think it's 81 and just a real light, gentle breeze. And I feel for all you folks up north because I know what you're getting.
Yeah, I just watched the news a while ago and they were talking about, I think somewhere out west, major snowstorms.
Yeah.
And highways were shut down because of wrecks and typical winter stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Probably higher elevation, be my guess. I don't know that.
Yeah, just, you just wonder. It seems like everything started early this year. I mean, it's still November. So, I don't know, it might be me, but it seems like that's awful early. Well, yes, I hope y'all have a happy Thanksgiving, too. It's going to be kind of quiet around here, just a few of us. And
I will. Homemade chicken noodles and cherry jubilee.
yeah.
That's it. That's all I care about.
Yeah, and so like I said, but it's going to be a nice day. And I said we're still going to have good weather tomorrow, and then over the weekend we get the temperature drop just like you guys have. Not quite as far, but they're actually
it's going to
talking
go all the way down to 58.
Well, they said we're going to get a 40 degree temperature drop.
I'm just harassing them.
Yeah, and that's,
us in Florida, we love that. We know you're in a deep freeze. We like to say, oh, it's 81 degrees down here.
Oh, well, thank you, Andy. There's my journey with the badge is listening from the road on our way to Pensacola for Thanksgiving. Well, have a safe trip.
Oh, did you guys see the reports about the airports? This is going to be a catastrophe. You can smell it coming.
Oh, yeah.
They were showing, they always show the worst airports like Atlanta or LAX, those two, for Chicago. They always show the worst ones. But the people are just like sardines in there in the airport. They're packed in there. And they're all being told the flights are probably going to be delayed going to all these different areas where the snowstorms are at, maybe even canceled. And then on top of that, the news report was saying something about it could be worse because there's a big shortage of flight, not attendants, the guys in the towers that tell you when to take off and land, those guys, what do they call them?
Oh, yeah, you would ask me that.
You know what I'm talking about, those guys. There's a shortage of them. Yeah. Well, that's going to cause a lot of problems. Here's my thought. Those of you looking for a job.
That's a pretty serious job, though.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. If you can handle something like that, it pays pretty good.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much from what I'm seeing in there, you can pretty much pick wherever you want to go to work.
Yeah. Air traffic controllers. That's what.
Air traffic controller. Yes. Yeah. Big shortage in them, I guess.
Yeah. And they it's causing. They won't allow people in the skies if they don't have enough controllers. And you probably, some of you aren't old enough to remember back when they went on strike, the air traffic controllers, and what a mess that was. And the president actually told them to go back to work. He made them go back to work because it was such a mess. And
how come we're never prepared for this stuff?
I don't know. I think North or South Carolina, they're on strike.
Well, strike is
right here at this time of year.
Yeah, but that's their right to do that. Yeah. They always, whenever anything takes a strike vote, They always try to pick a time of the year that's going to hurt the company the worst.
Yeah.
That forces them to the bargaining table,
Yeah.
like at UPS. We were always going to go strike right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Threatening.
Yeah, that, you know, it's just one catastrophe after another. So this is going to be one of those years. You know, everybody should have had their reservations way ahead of time, and I said maybe flew out ahead of time. That's the way to get away from that travel jam that they always have, is go a week ahead of time.
This is a smart country. We have smart people here, and we're usually prepared. We know. Last year, they told us this year the hurricane season and hurricanes and all the thunderstorms and all the problems could happen, and they did. We know this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How's come we come all of a sudden they go, oh, we got a big shortage of doctors? Why? All of a sudden we got a shortage of air traffic controllers. And my question is why? Didn't these so-called smart people that does all these studies and all this stuff, they didn't see this coming?
And they know it comes every year. So, you know, the Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter, it comes every year. So, yeah, they should have been a little bit more prepared.
Remember the year that I had my truck? I think I had my truck at Cummins that time. There was a guy that got on TV, one of these analyzing people. Sorry for my big college words. I know you don't understand me. But he said that we're going to be 300,000 truck drivers short next year. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I sat there going, he's crazy. There's no way. I mean, we were fighting to get loads. There was guys trip leasing loads. Companies were buying loads. I mean, we were fighting to get loads to go on our trailers. And lo and behold, that's when Clinton came in, and then NAFTA agreement started, and then the borders opened up, and that's how they got their 300,000 drivers. They never ever said he was going to have 300,000 drivers from America. They let the borders open, and the 300,000 drivers were hired without spending a dime. And you know who won that deal? Just so you know, no American profits from that deal. None. Not one. Look at that.
What?
Don't, buddy.
Yeah. What are you looking at?
There was a lizard come rolling around over here, and that buddy's going to knock my coffee over trying to get it.
Well, I don't know what's so unusual about the lizards. You see him every day.
He hates them. For some reason, he never catches them.
But I can't say that he hates them, but he chases them. That would make sense.
Well, usually when a dog chases something, he wants to eat it.
Oh, well.
Eat it or play with it.
He doesn't know what it is, so he might do either.
But the only person, anybody that profited on that deal was the government, buying permits to run in our state, passports to be able to come in and out of the state. That's who made the money. We didn't make nothing.
Let's see. Joseph Smith said, I still think about how airlines were able to bring down every plane in the sky during 9/11. I can't imagine that undertaking. Yeah, when it was necessary, they come to task. But I said, you think they'd be a little bit more prepared for this kind of thing?
Well, that downing of all the planes in the United States, I'm not sure exactly how that works either, but that was a military action.
Yeah.
That wasn't president getting on the phone saying, hey, shut down all the airports. That was a military action because we were under attack. Anytime we get under attack in America, the president has somewhat power, but the military has all the power.
Okay.
Just like in your county. Here's a question for you. In your county, who has ultimate power? Your mayor? Governor? Well, I found out. The number one power in every county in the state of Florida anyway is your elected sheriff. He supersedes everything.
How about that?
That's why what's his name? Grady? I love that guy.
Oh yeah, Grady Judd.
Grady Judd. He don't mess around down there in Polk County. I don't know what's going on in Polk County, but he don't mess around down there. He told him, he said, I'm telling you, he said, you criminals down there, you want to stay clear of Polk County. Y'all come down here, and everybody in our county carries guns. We encourage that. And we encourage them to use them. So if you come down here and break into a house, you're going to be dead. You're going to be graveyard dead.
Yeah, he's he's a fixture on TV down here when anything happens, because he has these, what do they call them, the old colloquialisms, and I said he knows how to put them out there, and people just love listening to him.
Well, he gets the job done, I'll say that for him.
Andy S. said, hubby and I are heading to the villages in February to visit friends. Can't wait. Yeah, it's And if you're, a lot of people come down hunting for houses, but if you're just coming down to visit, it's just one of the best vacations, I think. We spent a lot of time down here on vacation because it had everything here. Instead of going to a resort or something like that, we could come down here, and it was actually cheaper than doing hotels. And I said, and everything was here. You didn't have to go anywhere.
Last we checked, and I don't know about winter rates. Isn't the hotel up there at Lake Summer like $150 a night?
I don't know what the hotel rates are. I've never checked those, but they've got the lifestyle.
Well, I know they go up in the wintertime.
They rent individual houses here, and
not in the wintertime.
No, well, they do, but
you can't rent them for a day. You got to rent them for the month. They have some Airbnbs here, but I don't recommend any of them.
Yeah, well, there are some weekly and monthly, that kind of thing. So.
Not in the wintertime.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell you what, you go in your computer right now, get your laptop, and find me a home in the villages that'll rent in December for 1 week. There's people around here calling everybody.
Yeah.
We got family coming down for a week at Christmas. Will anybody here rent your house for a week? The answer is going to be no.
Rizzo says, I hear the villages is having a shortage of swingers.
A shortage of what?
Swingers.
Swingers? What's that?
What's that? Come on.
Dancing?
No, I don't think so. But yeah, Jerry, they're all dying. Or Bill, they're all dying. We'll have another house here in our area for sale.
It's sold
in January. No, we got another one in January.
Tommy's house is sold. So those of you that were wondering about it, we said it was a good deal. It was put up for sale like on Monday, and by Tuesday morning, it was pending.
Yeah,
gone.
Well, I said Jerry's back here in the circle behind us. It'll be up for sale after January. Yeah, Rizzo said golf club swingers, get your head out of the toilet.
Oh. Well, the only really good, I had two complete sets of golf clubs. One was tailor-made, which was a good set, but I wanted to get some hybrids, so I went and got a whole new set of golf clubs and went to the computer thing and all that kind of stuff. And then, what's his name?
Give me a hint.
He came over here to borrow them, to use them.
Oh, Kevin.
Kevin, yeah, I forgot his name. He came over here. He said he was thinking about buying some clubs and whatever. He's never played golf before, I don't think. I said, well, before you go out and buy a bunch of stuff, I said, come over here and use these and see if you like them. They're hybrids. I said, you might like hybrids better than normal golf clubs, but you can take both if you want. And so he took them, and I haven't seen them since, so I don't know where they're at.
Yeah, evidently he must have liked them. Well, Jen, I used to buy a lot from Van Heusen when they were here in town. I love Van Heusen, and they started out being the Izod store in Lake Sumter, and then Van Heusen they went to online, and then Van Heusen bought a lot of the stuff that they had left, and so they were doing Izod and Van Heusen, and I really loved the store when it moved here to Brownwood, and I bought a lot of things from them. But it has since moved out, and I said they're doing online stuff now. But I love these tops, and on the weekends you can get really, really good deals on these. And I said the material of it, it's kind of a silky material, but they wash up nice. I really love them. I just wish that there was another store around that would do that, and there just isn't. We changed stores around here. They changed hands a lot. And I said, it's a shame because once you get used to something, and I think the ones that I like that's left here is Bell's and Belk and Anthony's. But now, a lot of them, they have good deals, but they don't exactly have sale prices for most of their stuff. But they have good stuff.
Hey, Fat Bob. I see Fat Bob's on here.
Oh, hey.
Must be raining up there. He'd be at the garage.
Yeah, and Wrestler says Happy Thanksgiving and Happy Black Friday shopping. Well, my Black Friday shopping is going to be done on the computer.
Yeah, I've done a little Black Friday shopping. I got something coming probably December, like I said, 3rd or 4th, I think. I got me a new TV to go in my room.
Good.
And I also got another thing I'm thinking about ordering, but I can't say because it's going to be a Christmas gift for Sue. I'm getting her a new rotary shaver. It's really something I want, but I'm going to get
Right, yeah, I know. What? But I want you to go pick out your chair too. You're getting a new chair.
Where's it at?
I haven't bought it yet.
Oh.
But I want you to pick out the one that you want because, I'm not good at it. Yeah, I'm Betty.
Buddy, stop it.
Yeah, I want you to buy the kind of chair that you want. So, hey.
You got to get the couch picked up first.
No, not doing that this time. You just told me that with the red thing. And
no, take the couch first because then the extra lazy boy that's in the living room, I'll just put it in there until I get my new chair.
All right, I'll go along with that. But I know you told me about that red cabinet, and I got rid of it.
What red cabinet?
The one that was in the kitchen.
It wasn't even a cabinet.
Whatever it was, it held stuff. And now I got rid of it, I don't have the room for other stuff, so. Hey, Robin. Good to see you. She says she's finally getting to watch us live. You're off work today.
Must be a snowstorm out there.
Well, no, I said, it's the holidays.
It ain't holiday yet. It's only Wednesday.
But, she's a teacher tomorrow.
It is tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh.
You want up here? You can get up here with me.
No, he wants you to let him go so we can go chase that dog.
Yeah. Let's see. And happy Thanksgiving to you too, Robin. You and your husband. Like I hope maybe you can make the trip down here again soon. And Julie, hey Julie.
Is Julie on here?
Yeah.
Hi Julie. When are you coming down? I hear her now. He always says that. I keep telling him.
Oh, and then Bob says, "Why rent when I can come down and stay with you for a week?" That's right.
Yeah, we got an extra room.
I said, "You come down anytime you want." And Gussie Bush says, "Please share the nightly rate at your house. I would like to stay for 28 days. Breakfast optional."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what the old saying is about gas.
Yeah.
And fish.
A ghostwriter says, "Howdy, y'all." Well, I said, I hope you and yours have a nice holiday season. It's like I said, here it's going to be nice. It's going to be chillier over the weekend, but tomorrow, for Thanksgiving, it's still going to be in the 80s, and boy, I can handle that. That chilly stuff. You don't, especially this early in the year. I'm used to it in December and January, not used to it in November. So it's one of those things where you have your long pants and jackets on in the morning, and then by noon you're back in your shorts.
I got my shorts on now. So
well, I do too.
I don't know if I can see that.
Well, I said it's afternoon. But I said when I went down,
I'm going to get burnt. What's going to happen? I told her I need to get a shade or something on this because this time of year the sun goes down over here and it sneaks through this awning sideways. I don't know if you can see here or not. See that sun right there?
Yeah, you're gonna get
burning me now. I can feel it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I spent the day yesterday in Mount Dora with Deb, and as we always have a good time. I don't get to see her enough. I miss her so much. But anyhow, she had on jeans and a jean jacket and with a shirt underneath it. And she said, "I look like an Eskimo." And she said, "Here you are in your shorts." And I said, when I went out early in the morning to take Buddy for a walk, I was bundled up because it was chilly. But by noon, it was back to 80 degrees. So it's weird weather here. You just got to get used to it. And Debbie Robertson, happy Thanksgiving to you too, hon. Let's see. Joseph Smith says, my mom likes to visit Bell's when we vacation in Kissimmee, but they're not all alike. No, they're not. It's always about who the manager is at the time, because I was the same way with Kohl's. Up north, I got everything at Kohl's. And because it was close to us, it had decent stuff. But the manager of that store kept everything where it was supposed to be. You didn't have 3 aisles of sale aisles. They would move that stuff on out, and I said it wouldn't be in the way. And I said everything was very neat and orderly, and I could find what I needed to find. This one down here, I said I haven't been there for a while, but last time I was there, it's kind of a crapshoot if you can find what you need. So, and I said, and the Bells is the same way. If they've got a good manager, you know exactly where to find things. I know I go to the one in Leesburg. Every once in a while I go to that one, and it's a lot different than the one here in the Villages.
You see that? Rizzo's got his Key West home for sale. I thought he'd never sell that.
Yeah, well,
watch. Buddy, I see nothing.
I don't either. Oh my goodness. Bill, seriously, I wish I could, but yeah, it's not in our wheelhouse.
What? Key West stuff?
Yeah.
I ain't never buying a house down there.
Well, I said congratulations to you. I know
Buddy.
if you got that up for sale, you got a reason. So good luck to you. But anybody looking for a house in
Actually, it's not in Key West.
Marathon?
The island of Marathon.
Yeah.
It's a nice place.
Yeah. So
I think no, we stayed at Key Largo. Yeah, that's where Key Largo is the first big island south of Miami.
Yeah.
And the reason why we stayed there at the time, the so-called hotel there was the only hotel between there and Key West that allowed pets. Nobody else allowed pets.
And this is back a few years ago.
Yeah, it's even back then. We were not even allowed to walk the dog down. Good God, buddy!
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to take him in. Come here.
You better stop it. I'm gonna put you in the house.
Okay.
No. Sit down.
Sorry, guys. You know he gets crazy when he sees other people and other animals. He gets a little crazy. Otherwise, he sits under my chair and eats his chewy. But yeah, good luck to you, Bill. I'm hoping you guys get a quick sale. But anybody interested? Nice area. And I said when we stayed down there, and I said it was a long time ago, but we stayed in a resort and it was empty because we stayed in January. There was nobody there. Little cottages that went down to the water, and they were. Like I said, it was funny in January because we had one of those cold spells like we're going to get this weekend, just all at once. And I said, we're calling the lady at the desk and asking her,
we don't even have a chewy.
It's under there somewhere.
Well, then he's probably already ate it because I don't see nothing.
But we're calling, asking them where the furnace is at because we got a little bit chilly.
Yeah, there it is.
And she laughed at me. She said, "Honey, we don't have furnaces here."
Yeah, I woke up in the middle of the night and it was cold.
Yeah.
Because the so-called hotel was like rooms. I don't know how to describe it.
Little cottages.
Little cottages down the beach.
Yeah, just one room.
Yeah, we could walk out our door and there was the ocean.
Yeah.
And they had a place where a band could play, and it was really, really nice, but we was there off season, so there wasn't nothing going on.
Yeah.
So anyway, middle of the night though, the ocean breezes come through there. I woke up, it was just downright cold. So I looked all over the place. I couldn't find a heater anywhere. I couldn't find a temperature, nothing. And I looked at, these things ain't that big. I couldn't find it, so I called up front, got a hold of her. I apologized for calling her so early in the morning. I said, "But how do you turn the heat on here? Where's it at?" And she said, "It's in that closet right there." She said, "There's like 6 or 7 big extra blankets." I said, "There is no heat." She said, "Honey," she said, "you're in the Keys down here. We don't have heaters down here." I said, "Okay." I didn't know.
Yeah, and it was funny, but it wasn't funny because we were cold. She said, "Just turn the stove on and heat things up for a little bit." She said, "It'll be warm here shortly." But we felt so dumb. Because during the day it was getting really, really hot, and we couldn't even have the dog outside during the day because it got so hot.
They wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
Key West had a rule at that time. You could not walk your dogs down the sidewalk in Key West. You could not. And seems to me, even the off-street parking, I don't care what it was, there was a parking meter there. You had to pay to park no matter where you were at.
Yeah.
Most of the restaurants, stores, whatever, they don't really have doors that you push to open to go in or go out. They're just kind of like open fronts. You just walk in. Those of you who've been to Key West, you know what I'm talking about. You could not go in there with any kind of pet whatsoever. And they were strict about it. So what we ended up doing, because we didn't know any of this, is we ended up driving around that place all day long in our minivan, and we had our dog in the minivan with the air conditioner running. And if we wanted to get out, we locked it up and walked over to look at something and went back to the van. We left her in the van all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's what we had to do. And
you couldn't do that over more than 10 minutes because it was just that hot, even with the air conditioner on.
So we ended up leaving, and I've never been back because of that, really.
Well, and our free place to stay is getting sold. So we may never get back there.
Rizzo's has invited us to come down there a dozen times, and I just never get down there. I don't know. Maybe I just got this bad thought in my mind about how they treated us with our dog, and now we got Buddy, and he's totally uncontrollable. He is. When we have people around here and things, he's just uncontrollable. He won't listen. He don't mind. I'm beginning to think we got a retarded dog.
I know. He's just still puppy in him. Ghost Rider says rain in mid to low 40s tomorrow here in Connecticut. Yeah, that storm is coming through, and I was looking out in the west. They got some really low temperatures, and then when it got to the Midwest, then it was a lot of rain. They didn't have the heavy snow, but a lot of rain. The Indiana, Ohio area, and then once it got out to the East Coast, then there was parts of you was getting some pretty good snow, and then heavy rain. So we get, when you have those air masses that go across the United States, a lot of times they will miss us. They'll stay across the middle of the states, but a lot of times it will dip down here too. Just not as cold as what you guys get, but the temperature does dip at the same time. So, but the nice thing is, in a couple of days, it's gone.
What's that?
The cold air. We had a couple cold days last week. And I said, here it is, 80 again.
We actually talked about that before I even retired, because we've been down here so many times with the grandkids that anywhere in Florida, it doesn't make a difference where it's at, that we kept talking about retiring and maybe coming down here. And I said, there's one thing about Florida, even in the winter, they do get their cold weather in certain parts of Florida. I said, just wait a couple of days and it goes right back up to where it's at. And that seems to be true. It's still that way.
Yeah.
The only thing that I noticed difference between now and say 30 years ago is the traffic is a lot different. The traffic we have here in the villages in the wintertime is the traffic that I remember having in Orlando when the kids were on break out of school when we went down there. And the traffic here over the years we've been here, to me, it's 50 times worse than it's ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just horrible. And then you say, well, that comes with expansion. And you're right, it does come with expansion. But that's the whole point of what I'm trying to say about everything being built around the villages. It has nothing to do with the villages, but they're using the villages as a way to
attract customers.
Yeah, to attract customers, to sell homes, all this kind of stuff. I got no problem with business is business, but if you came here because you said, well, I like the square, I like to go to the square every night. Well, during the snowbird season, you might like the square, but you might be standing up all night long. There'll be no place to sit, no place to park. Did you guys see the video when we went down to support one of our Patriot members? He was playing. He's got a contract here. He played down at Brownwood at World of Beer World, whatever it's called.
World of Beer.
Sue and I had to park in the back 40 acres that day.
Yeah, we were down by the lofts. That's how far we had to park out.
Yeah, and I had to walk.
But too, they were having their Halloween festivities, so that makes sense right there.
It's just the traffic and the population is getting so big that if you're going to spend $500,000 on a house, and today it's almost $400,000 and $500,000 seems to be the average price. So if you're going to spend that kind of money, just know what you're getting into when you come here.
Yeah, but like I said, Florida's like that everywhere. Although I have been seeing a lot of things about certain areas of Florida are losing ground as far as people go. That people are moving out, and I'm sure that's because of the hurricanes that we had. People on the coast are
truthfully,
moving.
in history, I think you'll probably find out that's always been the case.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount that come in, there's a certain amount that goes out.
Yeah.
And they don't ever record how many people that went out in a box.
Well, that's
you
kind of
think they call this God's waiting room, and it truly is, because the 10 years we've been here, we've seen a lot of our friendly neighbors disappear. They're just not here anymore. Tommy's another one.
Mm-hmm.
I just found out, Sue told me yesterday, he's in an assisted living in Colorado. Mm-hmm. And he's mad because they won't let him get out of bed.
He can't drive.
Yeah, keep in mind, you've seen our videos where she had to go down and pick him up out of his driveway because he couldn't get up. That's why they don't want him to get out of bed. He falls down. He can't drive. Why? Because he can't stand up. He doesn't understand any of this, because I actually think that up here he's lost a little something, and so anyway, his boy took over. I guess his boy did, and they went down there. And the thing that I don't understand about this moving something here just ain't right. We were told by a neighbor down there that in order to clean the house out, they literally tore his furniture up and threw it in a truck. And I know Tommy's furniture was not in that bad a shape at all.
No, there was a pod there a couple days before, so they put anything of consequence in that pod.
Did you tell me they ripped up his couch?
No, I didn't see him with the couch. They had bedroom furniture that they were tearing
I
up.
don't know anything about the bedroom furniture. Because that couch, I know for a fact, it was like a $5,000 couch. It's pure leather, real leather.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, like I said, it happens. Yeah. Let's see. Rose Case is happy to be on the live, but replay is always outstanding. Well, great. I'm glad. You know
I perform better on replays.
and I don't make him edit them, but you know, and that's the bad thing about live is I can't shut him up.
Yeah, these are no editing on these live things at all. So sometimes I say things without thinking. But you know, the way I say it, you guys are as old as I am. A lot of you are. You go back to when TV was live. Carol Burnett Show was live. I mean, that's what made it fun, especially when those people would get to cracking up or screw up a line or whatever, and we all laughed our asses off because it was fun. So I kind of feel that way about this live. Yeah, we make mistakes, but hey, go with it.
Kevin says, Skip, I told you I like your golf clubs, and I offered to buy them from you. Do you remember?
Not really.
Evidently, he doesn't. Yeah. Let's see. Robin says, cloudy today in Oklahoma and cool in the 50s. I'm decorating my tree as I watch porch setting. You know, I've noticed that people are doing their stuff early this year, just like everything else. Like I said, this year they're doing it early, all the Christmas decorations and stuff like that. And, you know, and I wonder about why do that here, because we don't have to hurry to get it up before the snow comes, before cold weather comes. But like I said, you know, if you just like the holiday, maybe that's why. I don't know.
I do and I don't like the holidays, because the holidays, as you get older, you'll find out they're just not the same anymore. And you try to make them the same by inviting neighbors, because that's replacing your grandkids that used to come. You're inviting your friends. That replaces your children that's grown up and gone, you know, because I just don't have any holiday spirit at all anymore. None. I don't care about putting up a tree. I don't care about decorating the house. The only thing I really care about is just what I said, and that was no joke. My homemade chicken noodles, mashed potatoes, and my Cherry's Jubilee, and that's good for me. I told her last night, I said, why'd you get a turkey? She says, well, it was Thanksgiving. And I don't care for turkey. I don't want no more turkey. I'm done with it. I'm sick of it.
Well, we're having company. So,
we are? Who?
Judy.
Judy's coming? Is she bringing Linda?
Linda and Roy have another offer, but they said they might be by for
dessert. So they had another offer that's more important than me?
Yes, they'd already accepted an invitation, but they said they might come back for dessert.
Tell Judy to bring her dog. Give Buddy something to keep busy with.
Well, I'll tell her.
I mean, he don't hump anymore. I haven't seen him hump since he had the operation.
Yeah. He tears up a lot.
What?
He tears up a lot.
That's just puppies in him.
Yeah.
He's a damnedest dog for stealing tissue. You know.
Yeah, I gotta watch my tissue boxes on the end tables and what have you. And anytime I use a paper towel, I gotta make sure I keep it where he can't get it.
He'll get it.
This morning he had a washcloth.
Probably the one that's in back. I'm getting tired of getting in the shower or the tub, and there's always a damn wash rag hanging somewhere. I throw them out.
Well, I use them, so
That's not a clothesline. You use a wash rag, throw it away. Throw it in the wash machine. Get it out of the bathroom. Don't be hanging it on the shower.
I'll do what I want, and you know it. Hey, Carol. She says, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family from your favorite Long Islanders, Brian and Carol.
Long Island.
How are y'all today? Oh, Joseph Smith said one of our daughters got married in Key West in June, and it was miserable, hot, and humid. I doubt we ever return.
Here?
You know, in Key West.
Or Key West?
And June, that's serious stuff down here. Anywhere down here in June, it's warm.
Yeah, it don't make a difference.
But I would have liked to. There's so many things in Key West I would have liked to see. You know, I didn't get to see Hemingway's home. I didn't get to see the big library, the big churches. There's a lot of that stuff. It's touristy stuff. but I'm a tourist.
Yeah, I don't mind going to some touristy places. I'm just not a big touristy fan.
And we just wasn't able to with having
I mean, we went and seen
Maggie.
Washington, no, where the president's heads are in a mountain.
Oh, Rushmore. Rushmore.
That's a touristy place, but I wanted to see that because And then while we were there, though, we saw things we didn't know was there. We went and seen Custer Park, and then where they're making that Indian. I don't know who it is, Geronimo. I don't know who that Indian is. Yeah. They're making another thing in the mountain with an Indian on the back of a horse, and he's pointing like that. Yeah. And they're really early in. Anyway, we went and seen that, and there was a lot of shows around that area. And then they've got a big museum there with a viewing site from the museum. But they have a lot of, and you know, that's my heritage, the Indian, Native American. And I said, so I really love looking at some of that stuff that, you know, Lakotas were, they still are, I think, they're probably one of the poorest Indian nations there is. And I remember my brother giving to the school to start a school there because we didn't treat them right. I'm telling you, we didn't, and still aren't. But a little bit at a time, they're getting theirs. But I couldn't believe some of that. They have their own governments, and before they start whining about how we done something, I didn't do anything. What my ancestors did, I'm not responsible for. Neither are you, or neither is anybody else. I'm so sick of that. Well, nobody was asking for money. But they shouldn't have to go. Yes, they did. They shouldn't have to go to school. Yes, they did. And how we pay them back is we give them the right to build all the casinos out there. When you go out west, every casino out there is on Indian land. But not only for certain Indian tribes. Not every tribe has a casino. Well, but they're like everybody else. It's just like in America. There's nobody in America that's actually from here. Ask anybody. Well, I'm an Italian American. I'm a German American. I'm a Swiss American. We don't have an American, and they're the same way. There's so many sub-tribes say the Cherokee, and then there's a sub-tribe. I'm American. So in order to get money out there, which they all get money, their welfare system is whenever they build like a casino on Indian land. I know this because I ate at an Indian restaurant and I talked to them, well, at least in this one area, that everybody that's on this, they have like a registrar. If you have like a certain percentage of blood that says you're Cherokee or whatever tribe that is, you get on this registrar. So whatever they profit on any of those businesses on Indian land is divided according to the percentage of your blood, and so you get sent a check. Right. But like I said, not all bunches have a casino to distribute that money. Well, they should get a casino. Nobody's stopping them. We're not responsible for that. I don't care. In this day and age, there should be nobody living on dirt floors. There should be how do you know nobody that has to worry about. But how do you know anybody's living on dirt floors? Did somebody tell you that? I've been out there and seen these people, and I'm telling you what, there is some areas where everybody, the poor people out there, the poorest Indians out there I saw are living in house trailers. They're not living in dirt floors. Okay. But like, I know how hard it was to get that school built for them. And, that was the Lakota school. Oh, I don't know. That was a place that didn't have a casino. And I said, to get that school built, it took a lot. And I said, there wasn't very many kids. There should never, ever be any problem in my mind. I don't care who you are. If you're in the continental United States and somebody needs a school built, our government gives away so damn much money every year to countries that don't even like us. There should be no excuse for not building schools to educate these people, because it benefits the whole country if you educate these people. I'm convinced that most of the stuff that you read and see on the news and the newspaper about crime and all this and that is from uneducated people. They can't get that good job that pays a good salary because they dropped out of high school in the 10th grade and they never did get that high school diploma. I'm not saying you need a college diploma to make a good living. I didn't get a college diploma, and I think I did okay. Not great, but I did okay. My dad, I don't think, made it past the 8th or 9th grade, and he retired from General Motors. I don't know if my mom ever got a high school diploma, but they did just fine. Yeah. Anyhow. What do you mean, anyhow? I'm changing the subject. Jerry says Buddy is a chip off the old block, like father, like son. Jerry, that's weird. I find it weird when people call people say, this person calls their dog their mommy. There's your mom. No, I don't think so. Oh, well,
Rich A says, I'm in PA near New Jersey, and tomorrow will be rain mixed with snow. Forecast can change. Yep, and I think I think there was a line there about where you're at where it changed from rain to snow. So, Claire May says, hi, Skip and Sue. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, hey, Claire May, hope you have a wonderful holiday. Ghost Rider says, retirement can't come soon enough. Tired of shoveling and snow blowing. I understand.
Sue will tell you, don't wish your life away.
That's true. That's it. It will come. Just don't wish, because those are days that you could use for something else.
That's what she said.
Okay. Cindy G said, I had to get my father into assisted living and working on cleaning out his house. Huge job. Oh, yes. That's one of the jobs I wouldn't wish on anybody, because going through somebody else's stuff is really tough. And deciding, especially if you have your own, it's hard to decide what to keep, what to give away, what to donate, that kind of thing. It's
the only ones that actually do that are the kids.
Well, that's what she says. It's her father's house,
yeah.
And he's in assisted now.
Well, and just what I know of assisted living, I've been to 2 or 3 of them. Those range dramatically of what they are. One of the best ones I think I've seen, and I don't even know what it's called, the big yellow house. We went over there. They were like small apartments really inside, had their own kitchen and bar. And I told you, I said, damn, I could live over here.
Sumter Senior?
Is that what it is?
I think Sumter Senior Living, yeah.
They had 3 buildings. Mm-hmm. The first was assisted living, right?
One's independent, one's assisted, and one's
so first
nursing.
Building's independent, I'm guessing. That's where we went. So she had a kitchen and everything. Then when you get bad enough, then you move over to assisted living, the next building. And
then you go to nursing care.
Then you go to the last building, and after you leave that building, you're in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was, looking
I wonder what that costs over there. I'm just curious. Because if you want meals, they will make it, but they charge you. If you want to cook yourself, you can. If you want them to do the laundry, you have a list of everything you got to check off what you want. And
now, food's usually with your rent. At least 2 meals a day is usually with your rent. Some of them do 3 meals a day, but I know a couple of them that they only include 2 meals a day.
They had their own private swimming pool over there. Yeah. They have their own private bar. I mean, really, it was just, I don't know what it costs. I don't, but it was super
I
nice.
have an idea, yeah. And because I visit Tanya at American House, and that's not the big fancy one either. It's nice, but it's not big and fancy and new like that other one was. But I know what it costs her. And I said, you're right, most of the things are all separate. Doing your laundry, they've got barber shops in there, beauty shops. And I went down to visit Deb, and she's in Waterman Village down in Mount Dora. And they've got separate areas. It's all, she's at Lakeside, which is across the street from the assisted living area. And then they've got a nursing area there too. But like I said, the big building that they call the Grand, that's the one that has the dining room in it and has the bar in it. And, the barber shop and the beauty shop, they're all in this one big building. And I got to tell you, if you can't manage on your own, that's the way to go. But they're expensive. Like if you don't have the insurance for that kind of living, then it's very expensive, very expensive. But yeah, I've been in quite a few of them. They actually have a bus tour you can take here. And now I think I went with the villages, so it was free at the time. But I think somebody's doing it. One of the insurance companies, something is doing it. And I think they charge like $25 to take you to the different nursing places and assisted living and show you what it's like. And they've got somebody that'll explain how the money works and that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing any of that. We have our own insurance plan. We're going to burden our children.
We're going to die.
Hey, when's dinner?
Yeah. But Claire May says she feels the same. The off-the-cuff live is best. It is sometimes, yeah. But let's see. Ghost Rider says January 2028 is my date. Well, that's a piece away, and you may change your mind before then. But yeah, if that's your goal, work toward it. Start clearing out things now, because you can't. Most people, if they bring stuff down here with them, they end up taking it to thrift stores or taking it to consignment shops, because most of the furniture from up north doesn't fit in these houses, and it doesn't look good. So they want something that looks more coastal. Even though we're not on the coast, a lot of the designs around here are coastal. So people want that. They don't want the big heavy pine or the big cherry. Flooring around here, a lot of it is tile. When they sell the house, usually it's carpet, but people usually take that carpet out because down here, with it being so warm, and carpets are so easy to get dirty and so hard to get cleaned.
Well, there's another side of that factor though, is falling. It's softer on you to fall on carpet than it is to fall on a hard floor.
Yeah. But I had all mine taken out because
she just didn't like it.
I tried for weeks to get somebody to come in and clean it because it was embarrassing how bad it got.
That was because it was installed incorrectly. The guy finally showed us.
Well, besides how it was installed, it was embarrassing to have people come in and see that.
Maybe, but I'm just saying it wouldn't have been. I'm just saying if you look buy a new house just because it's got carpet in it, don't go by what we're telling you, because ours was not installed correctly.
But I've seen a lot of them, and the realtors actually advertise it in their ads, no carpet, because that's what people want. They don't want those heavy carpets that they have to worry about getting cleaned. And like I said, everything here is sand.
I think a lot of the people that don't have carpets is because of allergies. That'd be my guess.
When I say everything's sand, so you're dragging it in all the time. And so, it's just easier with regular floors instead of...
Especially if you have a pet.
Yeah.
Because even when I go outside with Buddy, just in my own front yard, because I don't like walking around like Buddy pissing in somebody's yard, I keep him right here. And we walk around. And when Sue's not here, she's never here. So when I go back in the house with Buddy, I look in the floor right there where he comes in the front door, the living room where he would walk, and I see little pieces of grass just everywhere. And it's amazing how much stuff they track in that you don't even see.
Yeah, it is. And so it's cleaner, and easier to upkeep. I mean, you try to vacuum all these rooms of carpet, and I'm not up to it. I couldn't get him to do it, so that's why it went.
It's a woman's job.
Oh my God. Yeah. You seen what I did?
What?
I said, you seen what I did?
What'd you do?
I got rid of it.
Yeah.
And I said, I just now. Claire May says, I have a puppy just about Buddy's age, swallowed a wash rag and had to get it removed. Oh my gosh. Bet thought he was going to die. He survived and didn't learn a thing. Yeah, that's right.
That's Buddy. I swear to God it is.
I have took things away from him that, I thought, oh my God. And yesterday it was a sponge. He found I used a sponge to clean the sinks out with.
That's on the sink though. How'd he get that?
No, he found one. I don't know where it was at, but this was an old one, and he found it. And I said, it was dry, so it was probably behind something or in a cabinet or something. Because I can't leave the cabinets open. I was in the bathroom the other day, and I had the cabinet door open. He had a box of Band-Aids.
Yeah, he had them all over the living room floor.
Yeah, so I got to remember to leave the door shut.
He runs like he's like a little child, like he's hiding something. The other day, yesterday, I went out in the living room. There's one of my sneakers laying out there, and I don't remember him getting that. So I picked it up, and I took it back in my little office back there, and I set it on the floor. And as I sit down in my chair and I look over to the left, there he is running down the hallway with my sneaker again. He likes to hoard.
They're known for that, though.
Yeah, he hoards stuff. He puts them in. It's not really a bed. It actually is a mattress that went in his doggy jail that we don't even use. But we put it out in the living room on the floor, and we kind of throw all of his toys in there. And that's where he takes everything, and he kind of puts it right there, and he hoards it.
But yeah, and I said he will grow up eventually. I know, and
I don't think so.
I'll probably wish he was a puppy again, but it's a trial sometimes when they're little like that. Okay, Jacala Levinyag Farm said, let's have some more news. How bad was the car accident on Megason yesterday?
I don't know. I wasn't on Megason. I don't know.
Okay. And I said, the news comes out on Friday, so, it takes all week to get up to that point. So
My news is always a week old.
And I have not, I usually pay attention to that kind of thing, but I was out of town yesterday, so I didn't. So I really don't know how bad the accident
Buddy and I
was.
were here by ourselves, sitting out here drinking beer and watching the world go by. It was peaceful and quiet. He never barked. He never did anything until she gets ready to come home. Because I track her phone, and when she gets, I don't know, probably within a half mile of the house, the phone makes a funny noise, letting me know that Sue's on the way. Buddy knows what that noise is. And then right away, he perks up and starts acting totally unruly again.
Wrestler says, everyone I spoke to who went to Mount Rushmore said they were very disappointed. They expected it to be more somehow. There's a short show that they have that is somewhat good, but that's it. I really enjoyed it, but like I said, we didn't just go to Mount Rushmore.
No, we went to the towns around Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, we went to some of those little towns, and we took a train ride through the mountains.
Yeah, the old western town where we went to that one restaurant that was real popular. There's a history about a restaurant, and we had to get reservations.
Yeah, and it wasn't, it was funny because, you're out in the West, but this was it was a German restaurant, wasn't it?
Hell, I don't remember.
Well, I know they had Jaeger Schnitzel.
But the food was great. I remember that.
But they said that's where everybody went, and it was a big old Victorian house that had been turned into a restaurant, and I believe it was German. And like I said, it was just odd to be out there in the middle of nowhere and see this restaurant.
Yeah, there's a lot of things there to do. I mean, it ain't just Mount Rushmore. The train ride was pretty good. They're slow and kind of monotonous, but I mean, we're on vacation. What do we care?
Mount Rushmore they have no cell service up there.
No, forget that.
Like I said, we stayed in a KOA campground at the time.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful
We made
campground.
Tom sleep in a tent that had a leak in it.
It was only, 10 minutes to Mount Rushmore from that campground? And that campground was wonderful.
Yeah, if you want to go there and you're an RVer, there's a KOA campground, probably not the cheapest thing around, especially during the summer months. But it's literally 1 mile down the road from...
Yeah, not quite that much.
Then you got Custer's City Park, or whatever that's called there, Custer's something. They got camping in there too. And I don't know anything about it either. But and that's we were on the hotel vacation, I call it, the tour. We were getting a hotel everywhere we went. We were going for 6 weeks. And we got a hotel every night. Sometimes we stay somewhere 2 nights just to kind of rest up a little bit. And we had a hotel that we were going to stay at Mount Rushmore down the road a little bit. I can't think the hotel. We went right by it and looked at it. And I said, well, let's just get this room here for the night. That's really what I intended to do. And we ended up sleeping in a camper.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to put some, got to do some studying to find things around there. But that's why we found. Is
that a word? Studying? Well, I don't think that's a real word. I think you made that up. Another one of them hillbilly words.
Studying?
Studying.
No, that's a word.
Studying.
You know what ing means?
In?
Ing.
Ing?
Ing.
You didn't say ing. You said studying.
It's like wash.
Wash. W-O-R.
Yeah.
People say emails all the time. Yeah. Now watch.
Mount Rushmore itself is, it's big rocks is basically what it was. But then they have a ceremony down in a theater type thing. You sit on the rocks. It's a seating, and you're sitting there watching a program. They have a lot of veterans, and I forget what time we were there, but it must have been during a time where there was a lot of veteran stuff going on. But they had a program with veterans that were there, and they asked people in the audience if they were veterans to come down on stage, and they did a really great program.
That's the nighttime show.
Yeah, and
if you just go there during the day, then there's a little museum there. The walk through there has stuff
all the
from
flags,
every state. Mm-hmm. And then they got the seating where you can see the heads and people stand up so they can take a picture and a selfie and all that. But then if you hang around during the evening hours, if you look at the bottom down there, you'll see a stage and a lot of seating down there, and it's like a salute to the veterans or something. Maybe they changed the show from one part of the year to the other. I don't know, but anyway, we stayed there at night and watched that, and it was drizzling kind of rain.
Yeah, it was.
The weird part about it, though, is I got video of it, but it doesn't really come out that well. The way the rain comes down over them rocks, it made it look like all the presidents was crying. It had water running down their cheeks.
But it must have been a holiday because they had fireworks too, and I don't think they do that every night.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I said we found a lot of neat little towns around there that we went to and seen different stuff. So yeah, if you just go during the day and see the heads, you can actually see those from the highway. There's a certain spot on the highway you can pull over and get a good picture of it. But like I said, if you do the other things, and a lot of people don't hang around until the nighttime. We did because we wanted to see it at night. And I said they had fireworks at night too. And I said all the heads are lit. They've got lights on them at night. And I said the stage down below, and I really enjoyed it. But as far as having a lot around, there was not a lot of places that had tchotchkes or, a lot of places that you could buy trinkets and that kind of thing. There's a couple Indian stands where you could, and that was about it, unless you go into another town. Well, yeah, Bristol, I think it's a sight, It's just one of those places that was on our list. We wanted to see it. So, Barbara Ebner says, oh my God, my mom in later years always said dad instead of his name. Well, I had to quit doing that because I was really bad. Skip's mom always did that, when she would, because she had my kids, and I said she always talked to Skip, and she would always say, go ask your daddy. Anytime you want anything, go ask your daddy. And I got in the habit of doing that with him, with my kids, and then I said he never liked it. I don't get it, but like I really forget.
All that is a way of the woman making you the bad guy and making them the good guy, because they don't say no. Go ask your dad, because she knows he'll say no. That's why I didn't like it.
Well, like I still have a habit of doing that even with Buddy, and I said when we're out walking, when we go for our walk in the evening, Skip's usually sitting here on the porch waiting for us to come home. And so, we get up so far and he hollers at him, and I said, go, there's Daddy, go see Daddy. Just habit more than anything. So,
Philip says, have you ever had an annual pass to Disney World? I never have. I'm not a Disney nut. We had all of our grandkids and took them down there one at a time. And at one point, we thought we'd been to Disney World so many times we could write a book about the thing. But I ain't been down there in, gosh, I don't know, 25 or 30 years. But I do know there are several people that are Patreon members of mine and are also on Discord. Judy being one of them, Judy P. She's an annual card holder.
She's with the Disney Vacation Club. And so I think like once a month, she gets so many points and she can go to several different areas.
But I think she's an annual card holder because I was talking about the different levels that it excludes certain days of the year that it's a cheaper annual card. And she said, that's the one I got.
Oh, okay.
But I think she's also a Disney Vacation Club member, which I don't know much about that either.
Well, I think, trying to think of somebody else here too.
Well, Bob next door was an annual card holder. Yeah. He got the same one. If you get the one where you can go anytime, that's the most expensive, I think. Mm-hmm. Now, they've changed these things over the years, so I don't know what it is today. But then they had different cards, like this one here had blackout dates, and it would show you what the blackout dates were. And then you go on down the line to cheaper ones, and that's the one that everybody gets, I think, around here, because it blackouts things like Christmas week, Thanksgiving week, certain days or weeks in the summer for school, things like that. And then the rest of the time, no, it's open to do what you want. And I think that's the one most of them here get.
Yeah, and I think John and Lane go about every weekend.
They go down there just to eat.
Yeah, they eat their way around the world. So, and I don't blame them. They got a lot of different things down there. So, Rose K says, same. I'm starting to declutter now, so my only won't have to deal with so much. A lighter version of it, Swedish death cleaning. Yeah, it's best if you can do it ahead of time. And, a little bit at a time gives you time to think, do I want to give this to somebody, or do I want to donate it, or do I want to trash it? It gives you that time if you start early. And that way, when you find the house that you want and you get ready to move and everything, you don't have to make a big rush and do it all at once. Oh, what am I going to do with all this? And, it's better if you start early, do it now.
What are we starting early for? I wasn't paying attention.
To move. if they're going to move down here.
We have a lot of good advice that we never followed.
Yeah, that's why I know it's good
We didn't
advice
do any
because
of
we didn't do
that.
it. Yeah.
I tell you how when we decided to move full time and sell that house up there, once that decision was made, nah, we're not staying. I'm not going to be a snowbird. I can't deal with both of these houses. We're selling them. We're moving down there. At that point, I started listing things on Facebook Marketplace. And I had guys coming to my house all hours, day and night, going in the garage and picking stuff up, give me $20, whatever it was, to going out the door. Guys I worked with at work. I had a lot of garage stuff that was really nice, and I told them guys, and most of them already knew about it, and I put a price on it. It was just cheap.
Giveaway prices, yeah.
And there's no question. They came right over and got it.
Yeah.
The last thing that I sold was I had a nice John Deere tractor with twin cylinders on it. And I had a mower deck, a 48-inch that was a high-end mower deck. It would never rust. The bearings on it were removable. Guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I don't know what I gave for that tractor, but I had it for a long time. Never had a problem with it. It was just a really, really very well built tractor. And there was a guy at work, I told him he wanted to buy it. And I said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I said, this is the only way I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep it until whenever. I said, I'll sell it to you for X amount of dollars, which was a giveaway price. Here's the deal. You can't have it until I get my house sold, because then I got to mow the yard one more time after it's sold. And then I'll call you. And when I tell you to come and get it, within a few days, you got to come and get it. He said, deal. So I sold the tractor to him, and then I used it until we sold the house. Then I called him. He came and got it, and that was the end of that. And as far as I know, he used that tractor, I don't even know how long. See, the problem with them cheap garden tractors that you buy at, say, Lowe's or someplace like that, how do I get from one subject to another? I amaze myself sometimes how I wander. It's the frame. The mower decks are cheap. They're only one metal, and they rust and they fall apart. The bearings go bad. You can't replace them. And the tractor frame that goes from front to back, they don't even have a frame anymore. It's just a piece of metal they stamped that goes down there and up, and it's got these little ridges in it. Well, if you're an overweight guy that's bouncing around in your yard, that frame starts to bend a little like that. And when it does, you start slinging belts. So if yours is slinging belts all the time, the tractor's no good. Your frame's bent. It's no good. The one I had a solid frame, I-beam frame in it. I mean, I had to order this tractor, I remember, right from John Deere, the farm implement place. I didn't go to Lowe's John Deere. Those ain't the same John Deeres. I went to a farm implement dealer to order this tractor, and I had to order the deck to go with it. It was some serious money, but I had some serious yards and stuff to mow.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it, because it was really, really a good one.
And Barbara wants to know what's on the menu for tomorrow. Well, Barbara,
Cherry Jubilee and homemade chicken and noodles.
We're having turkey and whatever he wants, and chicken noodles, mashed potatoes, the cherry delight. I've also got a tiramisu, and that's the biggest share of it right there.
Where'd you get
tiramisu?
Where'd you get that?
Sam's Club.
Oh, so it's not Olive Garden?
And no, you've always said that theirs was good because that's what you've been eating.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
But they are.
Why make Cherry's Jubilee and tiramisu?
I just had it in the freezer. So since we're having company, I thought I'd give them a choice.
Huh.
The only thing is I don't have anything chocolate. Maybe I should make a cake too.
I could make, because Jose showed me how to make them, mochas.
Oh, yeah?
It's just chocolate.
Yeah.
It's you make your regular latte coffee. At the bottom of the cup is this chocolate, and when you stir it up, that now we got a mocha.
And then he put a scoop of ice cream in it.
No, he didn't do that. So
Mine
your mind wanders somewhere.
Mine he did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't. Was it Linda's?
No, he didn't. I was there when he made them. He didn't have. Jose, if you're on here, did you put ice cream in her coffee? And don't say it just to make her happy. Did you really put ice cream?
He did. He put a scoop of ice cream in it.
No way.
Okay.
Where did the ice cream come from?
The freezer. Linda got it out. I
don't remember any ice cream because I didn't get any.
Well, maybe you thought you didn't.
Then again, I don't think I got any cake.
I don't think she had cake.
Birthday cake. That was a birthday party.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was one. I know there was a lot of snackies there.
But I don't remember a cake. This is the problem with vegetarian, vegans. The things that you used to get, they don't have because you can't find a cake that doesn't have milk in it.
Oh God. Yeah, let me tell you about his diet. You know, the guy that doesn't believe in diet food
I don't.
and doesn't believe in dieting.
I don't.
Yeah, well, like I said, he drives you crazy trying to fix something to eat because today he doesn't want anything. Tomorrow he'll go eat 3 ice cream bars. So,
She's doing it again.
anyhow.
She's making it sound like I'm real picky about what I eat.
They know.
I'm sitting here.
They have heard you enough that they
I'm
know.
sitting here eating store-bought cookies.
I know.
They're not homemade cookies.
Do you know why you get store-bought cookies?
Because you won't put peanuts
Because
in.
you complained about
Because
mine.
you won't put peanuts in chocolate chips.
You complained about mine, so you get store-bought.
You know, sometimes you got weeds growing up there in her driveway now.
Huh?
You know, that's just a bad look. Judy's driveway. She's got weeds growing in the cracks all over.
Do you ever look at yours?
There's not hardly anything, nothing like that.
No, because I spray them.
Well, then she should spray hers.
She does.
Because she's gone a lot.
She's gone a lot.
That's the sign that nobody lives here, and that's when they break in your house.
Okay. Wrestler says tofurkey is what Skip asked Sue to make tomorrow.
No, I don't think so.
He didn't even want turkey.
No, I'm sick of turkey.
And if he wants steak and lobster, that's what I'll give him. You know, he can have anything he wants.
I never said I wanted steak and lobster.
You didn't.
No, I didn't.
But
I just said that one year. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to have Thanksgiving down here, and I want steak and lobster, and we ended up going over to Arnold Palmer.
But you didn't say what you wanted. So.
I just did. 20 times. I said chicken noodles, mashed potatoes, and what was the other one?
Cherry Delight.
Cherry Delight. I'm good.
Okay.
Might make some corn to go with that. You can dump that out of a can, right?
Cindy G says cleaning out the house without any help going to take months. Yeah, sometimes it takes a while because
If somebody died?
Her dad went to assisted living.
So are they going to sell the house is what I'm getting at.
Well, she's cleaning it out. I'm assuming that's probably why.
Here's a little hint. You know, I'm not telling this. This is not. Here's what they do here when somebody dies and the family lives in Chicago and they don't want to deal with this. You can call a company. And I'm sure the companies are probably everywhere, and they come in. And what they do is they don't move nothing out of the house. They go around the house and with these tape, they put a price on everything: pictures, couch, bed, everything. And then they'll open the house on day one, and they advertise this in the paper. And day one, people come in and we went to a couple of them. I'm talking hundreds of cars will show up, and they go in the house. Anything they see in that house that they want to buy for that price, they take that tag off of that product. And then they go around the house and do what they want to do. And then when they get ready to leave, they give that tag to the cashier person that's at the only open door to get out. That's usually the front door. And they're right there. They take your money. Then after that point, you're responsible to remove those items. And they give you a time limit to do that.
Yeah.
On day two, they do the same thing. But day one, they got the pick of the house. Day two, there's less items. So at day two, they have like a % off sale. Everything's the same. They'll say today, everything is 50% off. Yeah. So whatever tag you pull off is half that price. And on day three, which is usually the last day, everything is like 90% off or something.
Yeah.
And then they get rid of it.
But I tell you something I learned yesterday, because a friend of mine just went through that, and they charge us a fee to do that. But they also tell you that they'll be bringing stuff from other sales that they have to put in the sale. And then whatever comes out of the sale, because they price them, really competitively. So whatever comes out of the sale, then you just get so much of that. Oh, it's hot.
I know it. Yeah. Sitting over here in the sun. Look at my leg.
Well, I told you could sit over here.
There's no shade over there either.
Do I look burnt?
You trying to get me to sit way over there so nobody can see me?
Right here. I would just switch chairs with you. I don't mind the sun.
Uh-huh.
Anyhow, it's not always that easy. But yeah, there are companies that'll do that for you. But if you want to just get the personal stuff out, because I said when they do price things, they price it to sell. So
well, my phone shut off because it's so hot.
When they get down to where they take their profits, you get a little bit of nothing. So, if you got somebody you can give it to.
That's what we did. We sold everything we could sell to people we knew, guys I worked with, and things like that. Then Facebook Marketplace for all my garage stuff, and that all disappeared within one day. Really, 1 or maybe 2 days. It was all gone. And then I had a Corvette that I really didn't want to sell. I intended to bring it down here, but then we decided I couldn't really come down here and drive that thing around all these drivers here. So I cleaned that up. All these drivers here. So I decided to sell it. And believe it or not, I put it on Facebook Marketplace. I was selling this Corvette and had pictures of it on there. And within an hour of that being on Facebook Marketplace, a car dealer from, if I remember right, Lafayette, Indiana, called me. And he came down with his mechanic. They looked at it. He took it for a drive around the block or whatever and came back and handed me a check and took it home. So I had no problem. But here's the thing. If you really want to get things done and get it over with, and that's me. I don't want to dick with this stuff. I want to get it out of here. I'm not interested in making a big profit on anything except the house. Price it right. Everything you got is not worth $1 million. And that, I think that's the problem with a lot of people selling things on their own. They think what they have is worth more than it really is. And that's fine if you want to think that, but you might be waiting a long time to get the buyer.
Yeah. Barbara Evner says, sorting through Christmas decorations. Wish we could send to North Carolina or Florida that got hit and have seen no updates on news. Well, they, the charities around here are unreal. And I said they've had a lot of damage in Florida and North Carolina because of the storms. And I think, was it last week or the week before, Jerry and Linda did a big thing to collect things for the people that got hit by the storm. So there are places that are taking things there. Christmas decorations, I don't know. Most people are worried about eating and have a place to sleep. But I'm sure if you get a hold of one of the charities and ask them about it, they could probably tell you, whether that's something that you could send to them. If they have trucks going, can you put that on their truck? It's always a possibility. So,
well, if she don't live here, why would she want to call a charity with a truck?
From where she lives, if she could send it to a charity that's going to North Carolina.
People in North Carolina don't even have a house. Why would they worry about it?
That's why I said most of them are worried about eating and having a place to sleep.
I just saw a thing last night saying that half the area down there still don't even have internet, no electricity. So I'm sorry, I just don't think.
But like I said, when they have that kind of devastation, that's one of the things that goes too is your Christmas decorations. If you've had it stored somewhere and it gets wet, it's no good. So
give it to your neighbor. I'm serious. It ain't worth the amount of money they're going to charge you to ship that stuff. And I don't know what she's talking about though. She might be talking about some, really expensive stuff. I don't know that. My mom and dad, when we were younger, my dad was big into Christmas decorations. It just seemed like it was the month of December never ended. Dad had stuff hanging off the ceiling inside the house, in every room. I think we had like 2 or 3 Christmas trees, 2 on the front porch, one in the, and I just decided when I got to this age, that's too much work. I'm not doing that. I like the trees. I wish I could get a Christmas tree that opened up like an umbrella with lights already on it. There it is.
You just got to pay for it.
Well, if you remember when Mom and Dad got really, really older, the trees stopped. All the decorations stopped. And what did Mom have? She had a little Christmas tree. It was like, I don't know, that tall. You wound it up on the bottom. The lights came on, and the thing turned real slow, and it played music.
Yeah, everybody remembers those little ceramic trees with the lights on. Yeah, really cool. Rizzo says, do they make you wear boxers or briefs underwear in assisted living facility?
I think they don't care what you wear as long as you don't walk around naked.
He said it depends.
Oh, I got it.
Very good, William. He also says,
a buddy of mine called. He says, hey, what does old people smell like down there? I said, I don't know. They smell like people. Why? He said, well, it depends.
Rizzo says, Skip, we know who the boss is in the Smith's house. The same as the Rizzos.
Buddy.
Same as the Rizzos.
Buddy is training us. That's exactly what he's doing. He doesn't train me all that well because I don't go for it. He trains her. He does. He trains her. He won't eat this food out of a bowl anymore. Sue has to lean down and take a piece at a time and hand it to him.
No.
What was you doing last night when I walked around the kitchen? I said, what are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to train to eat dry food because he always
He's training you to hand feed me.
I wanted to see if he would eat it.
By the way, he's eating your plant.
Buddy, don't do that, honey. Those plants aren't good for you. Come on. Yeah. Don't do that, okay? Yeah, Rich Ace's Magic Kingdom and Disney World is sold out for Thanksgiving Day. Yeah, that's their busy time. Now I think the day after, the day after that's the slow time.
Years ago, we asked the guy who was working there. We were there. I don't know if we were there by ourselves with our granddaughter, but I asked the guy because it was so busy. Well, let's face it, we came down before the kids went to school, so it was in the summer months. It was hot, and it was crowded. And I asked the guy that was there, I says, what is the busiest time of year here? He said, the day before Christmas. I said, really? I found that interesting. I said, what's the slowest time of the year? And he said, the day after Christmas. I said, what? He said, yeah. He said, up north, he said, there's a lot of people that work for factories and things that they get like the 10 days off at Christmas or whatever. And he said, so the day after Christmas is when everybody's heading back home, getting ready to go back to work on January 1 or 2. And we said, hey, I said, I never really give that a thought. I said, but it made sense. Now, today, that's probably not true because they talked a long time ago about how the price of tickets were getting so high that Disney was going to go bankrupt. Disney was losing money. Disney. Everybody seems to know more about Disney than Disney themselves. And yet today, the ticket prices are record high. And now you have to have a reservation just to get into a park.
Yeah. So, and Universal's giving them a run for their money because they're opening that new Epic Universe here shortly. And they made a big deal when they put the Harry Potter thing in there. That really put them ahead. And now with them opening the Epic Universe, it's you see the advertisement on the news every night about that place. So it's going to be substantial.
Well, you got 3 major parks around there. You got Universal. We've been to Universal back in the day. And truthfully, between the two of them, I liked Universal better than I did Disney because of what they did. Today, I haven't been there since they've done all. They opened up Islands of Adventure. We went there one time, and I didn't really care for that place for me because it was like 90% roller coaster rides. And at that time, we just didn't do a lot of that. So for us, it just wasn't that big of a deal. And then you got SeaWorld. And we've been to SeaWorld 2 or 3 times with the grandkids. Now, you got to remember, everything we do is with the grandkids. And SeaWorld was good for us because the grandkids just had a really great time there.
And they've had hard times. So, a lot of that is they're always trying to bring up new stuff. Let's see. Hey, Ford Guy.
Ford Guy. Is he the one that gave us that whiskey? Or gave you that whiskey in that bottle?
I believe so, yeah.
Appreciate it, man. I almost drank it all.
He's drinking it all my stuff. Philip McNichol says, have you ever had an annual pass to Disney World? And then, no, we haven't. Because, because like I said, we don't have, the kids aren't little anymore. Dalton is the youngest of the grandkids that we have. And we have great-grandchildren, but they've never been down here yet. But yeah, there was not that much for us to go that often. And like the prices that they've got up to for the... Well,
that and the drive. I don't want to drive down there a lot.
Now, our neighbors, like I said, they go every weekend, and they have the passes. But they really like the things they do down there. It's one of those things like a cruise. I can do a couple, but I don't want to do it every week.
If I lived closer, I might really consider it because, it is a pretty cool thing to think that we can go eat dinner at Epcot anytime we want to. And I've ate a lot of dinners at different places at Epcot, and it's all pretty good. It's pretty good. My favorite place was a Japanese place. Yeah. I don't remember the name of it.
I don't either.
Remember, Dick was there, and he speaks a little Japanese because he spent time in the services in, I guess, Japan somewhere. And so the lady that was taking care of everybody in Epcot, the interesting thing is everybody in a country there, whatever country you're in, Epcot, you got Canada, you got Japan, you got Morocco, was pretty cool.
France.
Everybody in those countries are from those countries, and most of them are here on a student visa. They work at Disney and go to college. And I thought that was pretty cool. So the Japanese waiter, the Japanese cook that we had there, they were all from Japan. And you can kind of tell because some of them were just, for me, a little hard to understand when they would talk to you. But Dick knew Japanese. I didn't know that. And we're at the dinner table, and he's rattling off something, and this guy looked at Dick, and he says something, and Dick says something back, and then they say something back, and I'm looking back and forth going, the hell's going on here?
Yeah, Skip wants to know if there's pictures on the menu. Okay. Key says, hello, Skip and Sue. Been getting ready for my sons to arrive, so just logged in. Been listening, though. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, happy Thanksgiving, Key. I wish in the worst way that my boys could be here, but it doesn't happen. So, I'll see them one of these days. God, my phone went crazy.
It's getting hot, probably.
TR says, how do you feel about renters using your pools if they have a guest pass?
Nobody cares if they do it legally. It's just like anything else. If you're here legally, we don't care. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. People that don't live here, and when we say don't live here, we're talking about people that live, say, in Orlando. I'm just using as an example. They know that we're here. They drive their van up to one of our pools and just go in. Well, if nobody's checking IDs, you don't know. And if they know the rule, and here's the stupidest rule. Is that a word, stupidest? Here's the stupidest rule in the world. If you're in the pool, they're not allowed to ask you for an ID. So the people that know that rule, you can always tell who's here illegally, because as soon as that lady or guy comes through that gate with that little box hanging on their side right here so they can scan your card, as soon as they see that person walking that gate, they get up and they jump in the pool. And he can't ask them. And they know that those people down there aren't supposed to be here legally, but no, if you're renting a house, you got your guest ID, you're visiting somebody, you got your guest ID, have fun. We don't care.
Well, she said, when we stayed for 3 nights at a VRBO, we had a guest pass, but didn't use it, though it would be thought it would be invading your privacy.
No.
But if you've got that pass, then the person that owns that house is paying the amenity fees. So, you're not, you are legal.
See, how that works is we rented our house out in the wintertime, our first one, when we had it for 3 months. And how that works is I have residential rights because I own the house. In order for me to give somebody my residence pass, because I wasn't going to be here, to give them all the rights that I had, I have to physically go up and fill a paper out, give them their name, the arrival date, their departure date, the house that they're renting, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't take very long, and do all that. And then I have to give them not only my resident pass, I have to give them Sue's resident pass and physically hand it to them. So I have given up my residential rights here and transferred it to people who's coming to rent.
Yeah.
And now guest pass isn't that way. You're still here full time, or basically you are supposed to be. And you just go to a regional rec center and they give you these residential guest passes. I think you do it on the internet anymore, right?
Well, yeah, you have to pick them up, but yeah, you can.
But I mean, you can do the information on the internet.
Yeah.
What the heck was that?
That's Judy's garage.
Oh, Jesus, God, she scared me to death. I didn't know she was back yet.
Yeah, I just ate her this morning. So, well, Robin, I wouldn't worry about staying at a hotel. So she said staying at a hotel might be a better idea. They have pools. Yeah, they do.
Who is that?
Robin.
Robin, if you are, my advice, there's a lot of them around. You can use a lot of them for a lot of things. But the one that I really, really like because of the location of it is one on Lake Sumter.
Yeah.
That's a really convenient hotel to stay at.
Yeah, it's got a beautiful view, and it does have a, the inside's nice. They've got a restaurant there. You get the view of the water. It's walking distance to downtown. Now, every few years they have to refurbish it because it's getting long in the tooth. But it's just a nice area there. Like I said, it's not a long walk to town. It's a block or two. And like I said, you get that water view. When their restaurant, you can actually go out on the balcony and eat your dinner out there on the water, and it's so pretty out there. Deb had a reception out there, and when she got married, and it was just really, really nice. I liked it. The rooms themselves, like I said, they had to do some refurbishing because it's getting some age on it. And a lot of people like the Brownwood Hotel, and it is, as far as furnishings, it is beautiful. But
it's not really very walkable, I don't think, to Brownwood Square.
You can, but it's a walk.
You can, but you got to cross a couple.
And there's not a lot of scenery.
I've never been in a hotel, so I don't know.
Well, I say even.
It is convenient to, what's the restaurant we ate at over there? It's supposed to be a high dollar.
Pucks. Wolfgang Pucks.
Yeah. I say avoid that place. I thought
Yeah.
it sucked. I've been there twice. I didn't care for it at all.
Yeah, but that's right. If you have a pass, you're more than welcome. You know, that's the whole thing is doing it legal.
Yeah, nobody cares, really. Seriously, nobody cares. So unless you think this place is full of a bunch of ogres like me, it's not. We just want to, most of us bought here because of certain rules. Almost everybody here has bought here. They're very aware of the rules. Nobody here can play dumb to the rules. And a lot of people bought here because of the rules. And then when you find out they don't enforce them, and things get, trampled on, and then you start complaining, and I don't know. It just frustrates me because I don't want to move again. I'm getting too old to be moving. Moving's an effort.
Yeah. Barbara Evans says she loves tiramisu. Well, that's kind of a guilty pleasure. When we go
Can I have yours, Barbara?
When we go to Olive Garden, we usually split a tiramisu.
No, I get the tiramisu, and she eats half of it.
Well,
you know, she's not allowed to eat any of this stuff because she's on a diet. But if I get it, she'll eat it.
I'm not on a diet. But,
what is that you're on?
Huh? I just eat clean.
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 That's dumb.
Well, it might be.
The clean diet.
It's good for me.
So what do we do? Worship?
Debbie Robertson says, one day I'm going to go to your house and get Skip to make me a mocha, please. Well, I hope you have more luck than I do.
I know how to make a mocha now. I thought there was more to it than that. But I think Jose was a barista at one time or another. And so he was showing me, he says, just chocolate. I said, what? I said, isn't there something else to it? And he says, no. So he just had some Hershey thong and he made one. I said, well, give me my sugar. And he says, taste it first. He said, because there's so much sugar in that chocolate, you may not need any sugar.
Yeah.
And he was right. I didn't need it.
And what he gave me with the ice cream, it was called something different. I can't remember.
She didn't get no ice cream.
Yes, I did. No, she did not. And so you can ask him.
No, her mind wanders.
Thank you, Laura. My mind is just fine.
This sun right here is driving me crazy.
And yes, Barbara, he can. He strays, from one. It's hard to keep track. I'll put it that way. Yeah. Rizzo says squirrel. Yes.
I'm like, buddy.
And Wrestler says Skip's hair is also pretty. He told me yesterday that he went and got his hair done and a facial so he can feel good for his guest tomorrow. Unfortunately, they gave him his old face back. I might have him go to Sean Paul. Yeah, we watched. Jose showed us.
It was on Discord.
Yes, Jose showed some pictures. Sean Paul did his hair, and then I said when he first sat in that chair, he had a really concerned look on his face. But like I said, he did a great job. And then we had
somebody's looking for Sean Paul.
Yeah, somebody's looking for him, and
I haven't seen Sean Paul on here since.
Well, no, they were customer looking for him on purpose.
I think that's what it was. A customer, that'd be my guess. Or he's got children and he ain't paid child support, and his wife's looking for him.
No,
I don't know.
The kids were just out here. But anyhow, yeah.
If somebody ever asked me if I knew where Sean Paul was at, what's it worth to you?
Yeah. And,
who was it we met at a restaurant one time? A guy turned around and he says, "Hey, I recognize that voice. Are you Skip?" I looked at him. I go, "Do I owe you money?"
Yeah. We were at 2 J's over in Lake Sumter.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. That was that was funny to me. Even it was hilarious. Okay. And Barbara said she'd agreed about what they need in North Carolina, but she just thought someone would want them, maybe use them. But food and dwellings are for us, yes. But like I said, if they've got a truck going up there that's taking food, they just might have room to stick your Christmas ornaments in there. You never know.
They have a thing here somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is. It's been going on for several years, and they have several different types of Christmas charities here in the villages. Some date back 30 years ago and still going strong today. Others are new. You go down to a newer area down there, they start their own little thing going on. But they usually accept things like, toys, Christmas trees, bikes. Most of this stuff that people donate is brand new, actually. They go buy it and they donate it, and then they'll have an auction. Leading up to an auction anyway, and they'll sell that stuff or whatever, and then they donate that money to, to whatever we did this time of year. We used to collect money on my Wednesday night live show when I had it, and we collected money from you guys for the Children's Wish Foundation, and we would personally take the check down there and give it to them. So
Debbie Robertson says you might want to check out nursing homes for the decorations. Yes, that's a good idea. And also, I seen a post from somebody the other day about a lot of people in nursing homes don't have any other family. And so if they're there for a couple of years, they're wearing the same clothes. You know, I mean, they're wearing the same clothes they went in there with. If there's nobody around to send them more clothes or buy new or what have you, if they can't get around. So that's another thought. You know, they could use the decorations, but also along with taking things off the giving tree for the children, you might consider taking a gift over to one of the nursing homes for somebody that doesn't have anybody. That's I just thought that was a great idea. I never even thought about that. And Nora says, get your buns out of the pool and show your resident ID or guest pass. Yes, that's the way it's supposed to work.
I'm telling you, there's a rule here. The people that work for the villages, they make the rules. And they tell the employees that do things like that, you can't do that. So if they do that, they're going to get fired. No, they can't do it. I think it's stupid. I don't agree with it. There's no law. It's just a village's rule.
Yeah. And the hotel, Barbara, in Lake Sumter is the waterfront hotel. The one in Brownwood is Brownwood Hotel and Spa. There is one in Spanish Springs. I'm trying to think of the name of that. But
you know the Brownwood Hotel, I did video on it. That's the one where the guy went in there with a shotgun and broke a window out and was shooting at people down below.
Yeah.
That's the guy. That's the place.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, it's a hotel. Anybody can go in there.
Yeah, and even with a gun.
Laura says, 2-minute walk from waterfront end to the square at Lake Sumter. Yeah, it's really convenient. And like I said, it's a good view. They got a restaurant in there if you don't want to go anywhere.
I just like it for the convenience of you don't need to have anything. If you're here for 2 or 3 days, you can walk downtown.
You don't need a car.
You can walk to any restaurant. If you do want a golf cart for the day, you can walk to the golf cart store down there and rent a golf cart for the day, and then walk back to the hotel. Everything there is within walking distance.
Yeah. Laura, she wants to know, what do I think of the Mediterranean diet? I think it's a healthy diet. I really do. There's just some of the stuff on the Mediterranean diet that I don't eat, that I don't like.
Like what?
But there's a lot of fish that they have on there, and I'm not a big salmon fan.
I don't do salmon.
A lot of people like salmon,
but
you know,
do fish. If it ain't deep fried, got crust on it, I don't want it.
That's what I said. We were landlocked where we come from, and so they didn't have they had catfish, and I said we got a lot of cod, and I do like cod, but I had a salmon steak once. And it was just very boring to me. It just wasn't something that I liked. So there's some things.
Can you deep fry it?
Well, you can, but I've
never heard of anybody deep frying salmon. So something tells me you can't do that.
But I've heard a lot of people, what they use to prepare it, and like I'm not used to that because we just didn't have it around. But I do love olives. That's part of the Mediterranean diet. I do love the olives, and I love Greek salads, and a real Greek salad, and I told somebody the other day and they'd never heard of it, but a real Greek salad has potato salad underneath. And I said,
thought the main thing about a Greek salad was they had the big black olives in it.
They have the Kalamata olives, and I said they have different kinds, and they usually have banana peppers, and it has a little bit of a taste. But the Mediterranean diet has a lot involved with it, like the olive oil, and I know olive oil is good for you.
Well, it depends on the olive oil. I've had olive oil because I personally, you make that summer salad. We used to have some olive oil in there. It was in a small bottle. It must have been really good shit. I don't know. And I would sprinkle that around it and then stir it in. Oh my God, that was so good. But then some of this other olive oil, where the hell it comes from, I have no idea.
That's what I said. There's so many different kinds, and I said to keep track of them. So I never did. I think Deb and her Skip, I think they do the Mediterranean diet. And I meant to ask her, because they don't cook their own food. The place that they live at, they go to the dining room for dinner. And I forgot to ask her, if they make allowances. I'm sure they make allowances for different diets, but yeah, I've just never, but I know it's really healthy for you. Everything I've read about it is very healthy for you.
What's that show called on Netflix? I told you I watched it. I think it's pretty good. Never been advertised, but I think it's pretty good. It's about an old guy. He becomes a detective. He's never been a detective. He goes into a retirement community looking for somebody.
Oh, Man on the Inside.
Man on the Inside.
Ted Danson.
If you got Netflix, go to the new movies thing, and it's called Man on the Inside with Ted Danson. It is pretty good.
Yeah. And then I said, but believe it or not, he's old as dirt. I mean, he's in his 90s, but he still gets around pretty darn good for that age.
I just think the thing about this nursing home and where he's at, we call it nursing home. It's really not a nursing home anymore. Assisted living. And I just think it pretty much hit. It looks like to me that's exactly what would go on inside one of those places.
Yeah. And let's see. Philip McNichol, how's your real estate taxes? Have they gone up? Do you have homestead exemption?
Funny you should mention that. She just paid them.
And then we do have the homestead exemption. Plus, I also get an exemption for disability. I'm considered disabled. So, and they went up about, I'm thinking about $300 from last year, because I pay mine early. If you pay by the end of November, it's a 4% discount, and December is a 3% discount. That's how they go. You can get up to a 4% discount. So I always pay so I get the discount. And but it was still over $4,000 this year, because that's the bond included. The bond and the
take
taxes.
$2,000 off of that, and then that's what our actual property taxes are, and that's for the year. You can't do property tax here like what do we call it? Twice a year.
Yeah, Indiana, we did that up north, but
Indiana had spring taxes and then fall taxes. So here it's once a year.
But I think you have until April to pay them. After the time you get your tax papers, usually you get one that tells you what it might be, and then you get one that tells you the actual tax and your bond with it. And so then, like I said, you got to pay it by November 30th to get your 4% break on it.
Our taxes here is very comparable to what we would pay in Indiana for this house. So I don't think they're crazy at all. And in a lot of places in this country where you come from, our property taxes here is probably a deal. I don't know what they pay in California, but I gotta say there's probably a hell of a lot more than they're paying here, because the house prices out there is ridiculous.
Yeah. Now Patrick says we stayed at Brownwood Hotel for a week, found it loud and full of drinkers. Did not for me.
Could be.
That's what you run into. People on vacation, and especially when they come to Florida for vacation and
spring breakers.
Yeah,
beware spring breakers.
I remember when we went. We were staying at over in Daytona. We went to Bike Week with Jenny and them, and we had to stay at a hotel just outside of St. Augustine.
I don't know, but it was way out of town. It was like a Ramada Inn or something.
It was almost in St. Augustine.
And the guys below us got the room on fire.
Yeah, there are a bunch of bikers down there, and then they set their mattress on fire. And we were on the bottom floor, but they were on the top floor.
We were on the top floor. They were below us.
Well, I just know that they threw the mattress over the railing.
Yeah, one guy when he threw the mattress out, he fell to the ground laughing. The other guy was leaning against the building, and I hollered down to him. I said, "What's going on down there?" He said, "This drunk son of a bitch got the bed on fire." God.
Yeah.
The manager came out there in a golf cart. I don't know what was going on down there with that, but next thing I know, the room was empty. So I think he threw them out.
Yeah. Cindy G says, I'll be sending out Christmas cards soon, so get ready for OG. Oh, well, thank you. That'd be nice.
Get ready for OG.
Olive Garden.
Oh.
She always sends us a nice card, so that's very sweet of you. You don't have to do that, but we really appreciate it, because that's one of our favorite places.
Well, that's one of my favorites. I don't know if it's one of hers or not.
Well,
she never eats anything different. Never eats anything different. We went to a restaurant the other day, and I said, look there, I said, what are you going to get? Oh, I don't know. She looks at the menu for half an hour. Oh, I don't know. I think I'll get me a chicken quesadilla. Oh, I'm shocked.
Well, I know what, I go out to a lot of these places, and I know what they have to offer. And if it's a place that I don't particularly care for, I'll just get anything. So
if we go to Olive Garden 50 times a year, which could be, and you know the menu inside and out, and you know what you're going to get because you get the same thing all the time.
And so do you.
Then why do you sit there for 50 minutes reading the menu?
I don't know. There's days when you might just want to take a chance,
They might have something different. Why? It doesn't make any difference. You're not going to get it anyway.
Mark C. wants to know if you'd consider moving to another home within the villages.
Within the villages? Absolutely, I would. If the price is right, I'd like to have a golf cart garage. I've always said that. Yeah. I really like the, actually, maybe I should have bought Tom's place, but there's a reason why I wasn't really interested in buying that. And it had nothing to do with the house, has nothing to do with Tom, has to do with a next door neighbor down there.
And then that's enough.
Well, I do say that. There's a next door neighbor down there.
Okay.
There's a neighbor down there that's a little, it's a kind of a whack job, and I don't want to be around that.
Missy Mo says, Happy Thanksgiving. And Patrick says you need to eat smoked salmon. Well, the thing was, I've had it different ways. People always cook it different ways, especially people from the East Coast.
People like sushi.
Well, and I like sushi, but
people that eat sushi has a little bit of a corpuscle missing from the brain.
Oh, God. But I said we have a lot of neighbors around here that come from the East Coast. If you're along the coast, you do fish different. And I said we come from the middle of the country and
deep
kind of landlocked.
Deep fried or fried in a skillet. That's the way you do fish.
Well, but like I've had salmon different ways, and still I just it was like eating tuna to me. I just couldn't, unless there was mayonnaise on it, I couldn't eat it.
People that would eat salmon and on sushi because it's raw fish.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the same people that would eat eggplant. Disgusting.
I love eggplant.
It's disgusting.
Patrick said try a little smoked salmon and cream cheese on an everything bagel. Now that might not be so bad. Gracie said Ted Danson is 76 years old. Gracie, I thought he was a lot older than that.
I don't know how it is.
Yeah,
but I have noticed that a lot of the stars that I grew up with, that they're all like Jerry Seinfeld and all that. They're all about my age.
Yeah, but I think Ted Danson's a little bit older than that. I'm pretty sure.
Let's do a bet. We'll do a list of 10 movie stars or famous people that are in our age group, and we'll have a bet of who's going to die next.
That's not cool. That's not cool.
Well, I think it is.
No.
They're going to die anyway. Might as well make a game out of it.
Family Man says, Connecticut's killing me. $16,000 for property taxes up here. Need to get south as soon as possible.
How much is the house worth, the property worth? See, that's what, you just can't say, oh, $16,000. Well, if you've got a $2.3 million house, maybe that's fair. I don't know.
Yeah, and then there are people here that pays a lot more taxes than what we do.
Yeah.
But like I said, we have a modest home, a 3-bedroom ranch kind of thing. And so, but I remember what we paid up north. And I said we had more land up north.
Well, yeah, we have more land.
Yeah, and then that made a big difference right there. But
actually,
we do have
in Indiana, I don't know about down here, but in Indiana, it was county sensitive. If you lived in a county that, I don't know how it worked out, you might be subject to some taxes that the county next to you was not subject to pay. I'm going back to where they tore down the Hoosier Dome and built this new monstrosity over there for the football field. And they come up with a new tax, a food tax, to pay for that thing that they built. We were not part of that food tax in our county, but there was a county next to us. I don't remember all the counties. We were Hendricks County up there, but there was a county like next to us or south of us that they didn't have to pay that. And there was a big argument going on about that, saying, well, if they go down there and they eat food, they don't pay the tax. Well, we live here, we got to pay this tax. There was a big argument over that.
But yeah, that's a lot, 16,000. And Rich Ace is 7,300 taxes in Pennsylvania, 2,500 square foot house.
500 what?
2,500 square foot house. 73,000.
Ours isn't near that big. We're about 1,600, and last time I remember, 1,640, 1,650, somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
So we're not huge at all. And I didn't really want huge because I keep banking on the bet that I'm going to die. When I die, she's going to have to maintain this place.
Yeah.
And if we had a 3,000 square foot home, she can't do it. It's just that simple. So now I put her in a predicament. She's going to have to sell this house, get rid of a bunch of stuff, go get a new place and move in. You want to do that when you're 85 years old? I don't think so.
I'm going to have to do that anyhow. But Laura says Town Place Suites by Marriott is at Spanish Springs. Yes, I couldn't remember the name of that place, but I know they have one there. It's across the street from the Sharon. Yeah. Rizzo says, Rich, my father paid over $8,000 for an 800 square foot house in Connecticut. Wow.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. Laura says she only eats tuna cold. Hot tuna casserole is yucky. I think so too. That's what I said. I'm not a big, I like fish. I eat fish. I don't eat red meat, but I eat fish. And I like scallops and I like shrimp. And I don't mind, when they have fish and chips, as long as they're not too greasy. I don't mind that. But I said the salmon and the tuna, the only way I eat tuna is in a tuna salad. I make a lot of tuna salad. But other than that, it's just not my thing.
Well, that's the difference. So tuna's a saltwater fish.
Okay. Well, she says she's sure Ted is 76.
What makes salmon weird is salmon hatches in freshwater.
Yeah.
They live in freshwater. Then they move out to saltwater for, I don't know, 7 years or something like that. And then they breed out there, and then they come back to freshwater to lay their eggs. That's what makes them weird.
Well, Rester says thanks to all the great moderators today. You too, Jerry Bell.
Are we getting close to the end of it?
It's time. It's our 15-minute warning.
Oh.
So, okay. Gracie said Edward Bridge Danson III, born December 29th, 1947, soon to be 77. Okay. I don't know why I thought he was in his 90s. Somebody told me that. So, and TR says, I'd like the cheapest patio villa with a paid-off bond. Yeah, there
That'd
you
be
go.
up north. Not necessarily. You might find one down south where the guy just paid the bond off from the very beginning because he didn't want to deal with it. That's possible. But you'll have more to choose from up north. But be prepared if you find one up there where the bond's paid off and the house is, say, I don't know, 15 years old, 20 years old, you're probably going to have to spend some money for updates, like countertops, take the carpet out, put something else in, things like that.
And also thanks to all the wonderful Patreon members and YouTube members who help make these productions possible. Yep. Yes, we couldn't do this without our moderators and our Patreon members keep us going.
And what's really amazing, most of my moderators that you see on here, they're all Patreon members.
It's not surprising. It's not surprising.
But people that doesn't know our channel, they don't know any of this. Yeah. Especially the new people. They don't know any of this.
Oh, and the family man says, don't forget, Connecticut also has property taxes on cars each year.
Maybe. I know pickups was like that in Indiana. You had to pay property taxes on it. They changed it after a while. They said it was just too complicated. But they were there for a while. Yeah, I remember. And the license plates on the pickup came due at a different time of year than the car plates did.
Yeah. So we got our 15-minute warning. So, okay. There's something that I wanted to ask y'all, because it kind of gets in my crawl. I love the movie.
There's something she wants to ask y'all.
Yeah. I love the movies. I really do. And I said, we've got one movie theater left, and it's now owned by a...
How you doing, man?
He's waving at Buddy. Buddy's his friend.
He's waving at Buddy and not me?
Yeah, that's what he's hollering. Hey, Buddy. But anyhow, the one movie theater that we have left is from... it was Epic Theaters now. It's a new company that owns it. But something that I've noticed, and it's not just them, it's a lot of the theaters. And I said, now y'all probably heard a lot on the morning shows, TV shows, about Wicked. And I said they've had a lot of advertisements.
About what?
Wicked, the movie, Wicked.
I've never heard of it.
And I said they've had a lot of advertisements. All the daytime talk shows has had stars on that and interviewed them about Wicked and what have you. But how about Red One? Have you ever heard of that? You know who's in it? You know anything about it? How about Hello, Love Again? Have no idea. Don't know who's in it or anything. Conclave. Never heard of it.
Go to Tomatoes. It'll tell you.
Well, everything goes to streaming so much that they don't advertise them anymore. And I don't know if I want to go to the movies because I don't know what's on.
Go to Tomatoes. It's like a Google rating for movies.
I'm saying if theaters want to stay open, they're going to have to tell people what they got.
This is not. You're. Listen to me.
I'm a customer. I want to know.
You're a nobody when it comes to these businesses that spend billions of dollars. You're just, who are you again?
People ask how come the theaters
Remember when the drive-in movie theaters started becoming a passe thing? People didn't want to go, and everybody kept saying, no, keep them there, keep them there. And then Blackford County even said, we'll try to keep ours open. They started showing porn movies just to get people to stay there. Yeah. Well, they're all gone. They're all gone. Yeah, you're in the middle of it right now. The difference is indoor theaters, pay-per-view. And people buying 100-inch screens to go in their living room.
Yeah, I know, and I know that's the way it's going.
That's the way it's going.
People are complaining because they haven't opened Brownwood. Rialto is a gym now, and I said, but that's why, is because people are using the streaming sources, and I understand that. But I like a night out every once in a while.
I think the biggest of villages is getting. Surely to God, we could afford one decent movie theater cinema thing where they have like 5. You know what I'm talking
And
about?
we have one.
We don't. They're all closed.
This one is open. But like I said, you never hear what they're showing.
Which one is that? The one at the Brownswood?
It's at
Brownwood?
Lake Sumter.
Say that's the wrong one to use. They need to use the one in Brownwood. And you know why. The one at Lake Sumter is okay, but it's not great. The one at Brownwood is great.
Well, like I said, this Epic Theaters bought the Lake Sumter one, and so, you know, they are showing movies, and it seems like there's a good assortment of movies, but you just never hear, you know, we don't know what they are. And I said, I can't say, oh, I want to go see Wicked, because I know what Wicked is. I don't know what Red One is.
Hey, Google, what's Red One?
But they should be doing this to get their customers.
Who are they?
They've got to make money.
They?
The theater, they've got to make money. And if I don't go because I don't know what's on, you know, I'm just another customer.
I don't know. Maybe,
the one thing.
Maybe some big, large conglomerate corporation bought that theater to lose money for tax purposes.
That's a possibility. The one thing they have, Andrea Bocelli, 30, the celebration. So, you know, that's an extra special. They have old-time movies sometimes that, and I forget what they call them.
I put them old movies on my Patreon page.
Yeah. They've got Gladiator 2.
I'm not sure how many
Gladiator 1,
I'm not sure how many patrons actually enjoy my movies on Patreon, but I put them on there. I tried to put movies on there that I grew up with, like Sky King or Sergeant Preston of the Yukon, or the last one I put on, well, not the last one, the Flying Saucers versus Earth. The Day the Earth Stood Still. I think that's one of the greatest movies out there.
Yeah, and I'm not on Patreon, so I don't know what he puts up there, but you know, there's, you know, Bonhoeffer, pastor, spy, assassin. You know, so you got an idea of what's going on there. You don't know who's in it. You know, it's really irritating to me. The best Christmas pageant ever.
I'd send
we know it's about Christmas.
I'd send Epic an email.
I may do that.
You ain't gonna do that.
I may do that.
You ain't gonna do that.
Because it gets in my craw that they have all these movies.
Wait a minute. What medical term is that? In your where? In your craw? Where's that at?
Oh my God.
Where's your craw? It's like a Kansas City steak. Where is that? It's in her craw.
Okay, well that was my rant for today. It's catching, I know. Things going on. We have the tree lighting festivals starting Saturday.
I thought they already done one.
No. Starting Saturday, you get Lake Sumter Landing. It's from 4 to 9.
I thought I seen one on the news today where it said Spanish Springs Christmas tree lighting was like yesterday.
No.
You sure?
I'm sure. They don't start until Saturday.
Why would they start at Lake Sumter?
Don't know. Not my idea. I'm just telling you what they have in the paper. At Lake Sumter Landing, 4 to 9. The lighting of the tree actually starts at 8. December 4th. That was November 30th. That's Saturday. December 4th is at Brownwood from 4 to 9. And the tree lighting is at 8. At Spanish Springs, they have the Christmas parade at 3 p.m. December 6th. And then the tree lighting is at 8 p.m. But there were some other things that I wrote down that I thought y'all might be interested in, because we've done it before, but they have boat parades, the lighted boats in different towns. And there's quite a few of them since we first started. When we went to the first one, we went to Mount Dora, and they had like 4 boats. I mean, we went through all this traffic.
No, they had more than 4 boats. But
there wasn't very many.
It wasn't like I thought.
Yeah.
The big one here back then, maybe it was Tampa.
Yeah.
Like 150 boats.
And they still have that, but now they're getting with it just about everywhere. And now they do have a country Christmas extravaganza and craft fair December 6th at 11 a.m. in the movie theater at Lake Sumter. You get a photo with Santa. They have solo artists singing. They're showing a movie, and they have some shopping. So that's inside the movie theater on December 6th. But Light Up Lake Weir, the Christmas boat parade, is December 7th.
Isn't that where the restaurant?
Eaton's Beach.
Eaton Beach?
Yeah, but I think they have it on the other side. But that's Lake Weir, where Eaton's Beach is.
Lake Weir on the other side.
Yeah.
What's the name of that town over there?
Wearsdale, and
Oklawaha. That's
yeah.
where Ma Barker's house, where her and her son were all killed in a machine battle. Her house is over there.
Yeah, it's in the Carney Island Park.
Yeah, it's not the original spot, but they didn't want to tear it down, so they put it on a boat and they floated it across Lake Weir and set it up over there.
I have pictures of that actually. And that actually is December the 7th from 5:30 p.m. at Carney Island Boat Marine. That's on 13275 Southeast 115th Avenue in Ocklawaha. And into LakeWeirYachtClub.org if you need any info. Winter Wonderland World Equestrian Center is November 29th to December 23rd. I went to that last year, and it is beautiful. There's a lot of walking, but like I said, when they turn those lights on, it is really, really pretty. And I think during the daytime they're having the Arabian horses. I think that's on the 29th too. But Leesburg is having Christmas on the water at Venetian Gardens this year. And it's on December 8th at 5 p.m. They have light food, vendors, free hay rides, live entertainment, and lights at 6 p.m. The boat parade starts at 6:15. Now, if you've never been to the Venetian Gardens in Leesburg, it's a beautiful little park. Ski Beach is right next door.
I've been there.
Yeah, and but it's a beautiful little park, and the water there. I've not been to that one. Like I said, we went to the one in Mount Dora, but I'd like to go to the one in Leesburg and see how it is. But God, it'll be crowded. I just know that. And then the Mount Dora boat parade is December 7th, and it starts at 6 p.m. So that's some of the things that's going on for Christmas. And like I said, it might be outside of the villages, but it's not far. It's just a short trip and something to do, something interesting. We'd never seen a boat parade when we went to that first one. And we kept seeing the one in Tampa. It kept showing up on TV. And they have a lot of celebrities and stuff like that in that boat parade. And we talked about going to get a place at the hotel.
I bet Punta Gorda's got a pretty good one.
Probably.
Somewhere.
So we talked about getting a place at the hotel so you could see the boat parade from the hotel and that kind of. We never did. But we talked about it. But like I said, we did go to the one in Mount Dora. But I think the one at Leesburg will really be, from what I hear, I think it'll be really, really good. And the one at Oklawaha on Lake Weir, I think this is their second or third year there. And so I'm figuring they're probably getting pretty good at it. When they first start out, they're not really good at what they're doing. But after they get a few years in, they know their mistakes and they know how to finesse things a little better. So all of those would be pretty interesting, I think. So that's just things that are going on in the area. Oh, and there is a Light Up Wildwood Winterfest and Parade. That's December 6th from 6 to 9. And one last article is Pisano's is coming to Southern Trace Plaza on 466. And it'll be the third quarter of 2025. And we like Pisano's at Lake Deaton. It's a really, really nice place. So I'm hoping the one on 466 will turn out that nice.
I'm not sure we're going to have a Patreon chair ever again. We almost never had enough chairs and tables to fit everybody.
Well, yeah, we're getting so many people. It's hard to get enough reservations, but we will see, as they say. So I think with that, where we at? I think with that, we'll probably see y'all on the other side.
Thanks, moderators, all of you. Marsha.
It's Jerry and
I can't see the stop button. Oh, there it is.